Hey, I just got back from lunch. Did you finish that report yet?
Well, not exactly. Still working on it. I'm not finished just yet. I got a little sidetracked, but I will get them to you first thing this afternoon.
It is first thing this afternoon.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, I am working on
But
it. I'll have,
what do you mean that the report isn't finished yet?
I'm still in the process of working on it. I've just been a little distracted.
Distracted. Our meeting starts in an hour.
I can have it.
No. What were you doing? Were you listening to another hunting podcast again? I swear, I give the staff in this office the freedom to do whatever they want to do as long as they meet a deadline. That is the first bullet underneath your job description. Pays attention to detail and deadlines. And deadlines. Dude, are you even listening to me right now?
Archery season is sadly come and gone, but your shooting does not have to stop there thanks to Williams Archery's indoor range. They offer hands-on shooting lessons and they run indoor shooting leagues throughout the off-season. Now is also a great time to go get the repairs done that you've been putting off all season. You can also check out their new bow lines of Hoyt, PSE, Elite, Bear, Parker, and more. The new bows are awesome. Tell them you heard about Williams Archery on the Whitetail Distraction podcast when you give them a call at 724-667-9660.
Welcome to episode 18 of the Whitetail Distraction Podcast. My name's Austin, and join me today in my basement, and always
From here on out.
from here on out until it gets warm outside, Charles Hedlund.
What's up, man?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. It's warm and cozy down here, and we're both wearing our legendary gear.
We are wearing our legendary gear. I love it. Thank you, Legendary Whitetails.
Yep, thank you. It's awesome, man. Free $25, and then Black Friday came around, 25% off on top of that, plus free shipping.
Let's go.
Got a $40 quarter zip on right now. I paid $4.99 for.
I got a $30 flannel on that I paid $5 for.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
It looks nice.
I like it. I like it a lot.
It's like a fleece.
It is. It's
Looks
fleece. It's
comfortable.
super comfy, man.
It's almost like pajamas. It looks so nice.
Oh, it feels so good.
Anyways.
Anyways, today on the podcast, we have a guest that's sat in before, never spoke on the podcast, but
He was supposed to, and he ditched us once.
he did ditch us one time, so, we were gracious enough to let him come back on.
Second chances. We believe in second chances.
We do
folks.
believe in second chances. So welcome Anthony Forletta to the podcast.
What's going on, man?
Oh,
We did some things over the last few weeks that we're going to talk about, you and I.
and Austin.
And Austin. That is
Hey,
right.
Hey, don't forget about me.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is what, your second season in archery, right?
Yep.
But you got into gun hunting not that long ago. 3 years now?
No,
When did you kill those 2 deer? That was your first year, right?
20.
Okay, so it's been a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
you're,
was like the typical guy who got your hunter safety course at 12 years old, did
Right.
a year or two, and then, high school sports, whatever, took priority, and then kind of got back into it.
Okay. So when you went out with Kevin and shot those 2 deer,
Yeah,
that was the first
yep.
deer you killed?
Yes.
And that was not that long ago. Really?
Probably at least 6 to 7
There's
years.
no way.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
time's been
that's all right.
flying.
That's all right,
Time
man.
flies by, man.
Yeah.
When you're killing deer.
When you're killing deer. I love it. But you're a relatively new bow hunter. I mean, last year was
Yep.
your first year getting into archery, and didn't happen last year. You hunted pretty hard last year.
Yeah, had a lot of encounters, just couldn't get it done.
hmm But this year was different.
Yeah, it was a pretty good year for how much I've actually got to go out.
Yeah, I like it. Give me a little rundown. What was your season like? You kicked off on September 29th, and then what happened?
Yeah, because we've been busy with work. But opening day, we went out, got a good AM and PM sit, and then I wouldn't be able to sit for a few weeks after that. But saw some doe in the morning, just out of range, but it was a cool sit. Good enough to get the season going, see some deer. Didn't get skunked first day, so that's always a plus.
Mm-hmm. That's usually my goal first day. I just want to see
Yeah.
deer.
Yeah, me too.
Just,
You waited so long to sit
Mhm.
in a stand.
You want to have some kind of weapon in your hand.
Mhm.
And you want to see a deer.
Yeah, I mean, knock on wood, but I'd say out of all my archery sits, there's probably only been like 1 or 2 times I've actually been skunked and didn't see anything.
That's good.
Which is pretty rare.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty rare. That's pretty good odds, man. I'll take that any day.
Yeah.
I had more sits just this year and didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Honestly, I only had maybe 3 sits this year that I didn't see anything.
Well, we went a whole day and didn't see anything.
We did. Well, that was one of my sets that we didn't see. I didn't see anything. Yeah, but you know.
Well, before we get into this season, why don't we get more into the background, because we kind of skipped that part. What you're doing right now, and maybe how you got into hunting. You kind of touched that lightly, but maybe go into a little more detail of what you're doing right now, and then we'll talk about what got you into hunting.
With work?
We did skip it. Where are you from? What do you do for a living?
Yeah,
we skipped everything. I don't know what
at all. We're just jumping into deer.
I'm just excited. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm from Newcastle, PA, just like you guys. But I work for Lindy Paving. We've had a extremely busy year, and I've been out of state a lot, which kind of sucked because it put a damper on how much time I actually got to go out in archery. So with filling a couple tags, I was actually really happy to get that done.
Yeah, you killed, 2 deer and how many sits?
4.
Yeah.
Not bad, man. Not bad.
Yeah.
I'll take
Those
it.
are pretty good numbers. But so what kind of got you into hunting? I know you took the safety course, you said, when you were 12, like most people around this area did. You were, more typically just the first day rifle kind of hunter?
Oh, yeah.
What got you into it more seriously? What was that turning point that said, hey, I want to hunt
Like
more?
I said, once you got done with high school, you didn't have all the sports, all the other activities to really kill all your free time. And then, getting back out of high school, hanging out with you, your brothers, like people like Austin. And it just was like, all right, this is our new hobby.
Yeah.
It's time to get back into it.
It's my favorite hobby.
Yeah. Now I'm pretty much addicted. So.
Attaboy. Would you say that you're distracted?
Oh, yeah.
Well, especially him. He'll be on an oil rig somewhere down in
Yeah.
deep West Virginia looking at freaking 150s.
It's a tease.
That's the ultimate
And Southern
distraction.
Ohio.
Yeah, in Southern Ohio. My goodness.
I know during turkey season you sent me so many pictures.
Oh,
You're like, oh, bro, standing on the side of the road. There's like 50 turkey in this field. And you sent me a picture. I'm like, man.
It's not even fair.
It's not.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully we got to fill a lot of tags this year, not just deer, but pretty much everything.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's been a good year.
Yeah, you had a good year this year,
Yeah.
man.
Hell of a year. I don't know. We really,
You
it
had
all
triple
started.
trophy if you shot a bear, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to go out.
I didn't either.
I was
It's
out of
okay.
state.
I didn't buy the tag, unfortunately.
I got a tag, but I didn't get to go.
A couple of my buddies, the good friend of mine, Dave Evans, actually, yesterday, tracked down a bear in 2B and killed it.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
He got a 300-some pound bear.
That was yesterday?
Yesterday.
Are they still in season?
I would hope so. He's standing
I
with the
think
game
2B
commission.
2B has
Oh, damn.
extended.
Yeah.
Oh, 2B's extended.
2B's always extended for
They're
everything.
extended for everything, yeah.
But yeah, he found it. They come across a set of tracks, and I don't know if he was out deer hunting or what. but
Probably.
He called up another buddy of mine and couldn't go with him, so he just took to the tracks and tracked down and killed a 300-some pound black bear.
Dang,
Yeah,
man,
that's
that's awesome.
Yeah, but I don't know. So anyways, getting back to it, our success started back in rabbit season, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
If you're looking at the year, 2018, it's wrap up of success. My bunny bro over here, Anthony, and I, man, we hit rabbits pretty hard. I know other guys go with us, Austin.
Mhm.
Not leaving you out, Joe.
I was going to say, man.
Joe, and
But there's them days where it's a little too cold for some people. And
some people are a little too hungover.
Yeah, and we don't care.
We're just out there.
Yep.
hitting
Don't
it
matter.
hard. And then that carried over into the spring. Some spring success.
Yep. Some turkey.
Shot your first turkey.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think we need to go into story time on that first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I just looked it up. Black Bear extended season in 2B, 5B, and 5C is November 26th to December 8th.
There you go.
I didn't know the bear was in that long
Yeah.
in any
Yeah.
part of the
Awesome.
state.
If I'd known
That's
that.
cool, though, man.
That's cool because then, if you don't get to hunt those 3-day up here, you can take a little time off and
I
go
wish
down
I
there
would have
and hunt.
known because I'd have freaking went down or something on like a Saturday. I mean, I don't know how many bears are down there.
I don't either.
Apparently, there's bears down there if Dave got one.
Yeah, man, he tracked it down.
I like it.
So, anyways, getting back into the spring. Quit interrupting.
My bad.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'd say with the spring turkey, I mean, honestly, the past couple years, without killing a bird, we actually had a lot of success. I was with Austin when he killed his a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went out after that. He called one in. It worked out perfectly, and I smoked this tom, but it got up and ran away. It was never to be seen again.
Dude, that was 20 minutes after I shot my
Yeah,
bird.
I
We're
don't
like, dude, we
understand
got
it.
time.
It was we went to a completely different property. We went public.
Yep.
Called one right in, and it was crazy. I don't know. We didn't get
Just
the job
rolled it.
done, but
Dude, he freaking slammed that thing. It was laying on the ground flapping, and I'm like, dude, go get it, go get it. And he gets up, and the freaking turkey got up and took off. I'm like, go get it. And he ran after that bird for probably, I don't know, 10 minutes.
far
were
enough for
running
it to be really alive.
downhill, like
It didn't fly, it just ran for
It
you.
Oh,
just
it just
ran,
like,
dude.
full speed.
It was
Not
ridiculous.
wounded either. Didn't even act like it.
That's crazy. Those
Yeah.
toms, they typically don't fly away. Usually,
I
they
don't know
usually
what
run
happened.
more than-
Dude, he
But he
slammed
wasn't
it.
even like gimping. He was gone.
I
This
literally,
is unreal.
I can remember in my mind, I saw the wad hit the bird.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know how that bird lived at all. Like,
that's insane.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
It's funny too. They run away like little raptors. They're like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then, we went with like, Bud a lot of different groups
Yeah.
of turkey, but we've always been so successful in at least seeing birds. Again,
We always get into it.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, turkey hunting, again, there might have been like one time where I absolutely didn't hear or see one. And
It's tough around here, dude.
we're,
These easterns in PA are tough birds.
I mean, I'd say that we've all started getting better at capitalizing for sure. I mean, we've always got on them, but I think we're all starting to really narrow it down and get on them. But
I'll tell you what, if you don't kill one the first weekend, it gets exponentially harder.
people
Sure
do it,
does.
but it's definitely hard.
It's definitely hard.
'Cause
I mean, you got it done. So
Mhm.
did you.
I got mine done first day. on
First
a
day,
bearded
yeah, that's
hen.
right. Yeah.
And you got to figure a lot of ours later in the year were more stalking than
Yeah.
actual calling.
Yeah,
I did.
we were on public too for the most part. We
I had
hunted
a-
public. But
Yeah, I called one in. I was by myself in public, but it got me in a field, and I didn't have a decoy. So once it came up, it was like, yeah, I'm not coming out there.
gig is up.
Yeah.
There's nothing to close the deal.
Yeah, we've had a lot of close encounters, and I think we're all starting to capitalize and get it done. I mean, we pretty much had a 4 group, and 3 out of 4 filled their tags.
Yeah.
This
That's
year.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. I know it's the Whitetail Distraction podcast,
Yeah.
but this turkey story is pretty good in the spring, man. Yours.
Oh yeah,
Because we hunted hard.
we hunted
all
hard
day
multiple
long.
spots, and then we actually already checked this one spot, and for whatever reason, was it raining? I think it might have been.
It rained on us, if you
Yeah.
remember. Right? That's the day we were out.
That's the day that I was dead.
We were up on the
Yeah.
hill and it rained on us. We got on.
Thinking,
We
poor
spooked some
dude.
birds.
Yeah, we jumped a couple birds and they flew off, and it literally poured on us.
Yeah, it's like one of them times where you just want to kind of give up, but it's like, all right, let's just get double check that spot, and we did, and we saw what we wanted to see. We saw a lot of what we wanted to see.
We pulled into that field and there was just like this giant tom strutted up.
Yeah, so we pretty much came with a quick game plan on the easiest way to get on them without spooking them, because they were in a wide open field. If we
Yeah.
had tried any approach anywhere near them, we were getting caught. So we parked at a neighboring property, I don't know, 500 yards away?
Probably 500-600 yards.
500-600 yards away.
It's 500-600 as a crow flies.
That's a straight shot, yeah.
We had to go probably twice that distance to
Oh,
go
yeah, for
around,
sure.
because we had to go
Easily.
around
You have to
some
make a
private,
big loop.
and we had to go around a private piece
Mm-hmm.
and go all the way down and around. And basically the way this sets up, it's like a parking lot area with a little field and then some woods behind it. And then when we pulled into that parking lot area, immediately we saw birds fanned and we saw beards,
Yep.
and we turned around and whipped it back over to a neighboring property to sneak in.
And keep in mind, this is spring, so it's hot and we're moving. So
it's
by the
very
time we
hot.
actually got over that way, we were covered in sweat. Thank God they can't smell that good.
But it couldn't have worked out more
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah, by the time we pretty much belly crawled close to the field as we possibly could, before there was a hen, and the hen was just feeding 10 yards in front of me, picking at dandelions. I'm like, I didn't know they ate them, but whatever,
That's
that's
super
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Watching this hen, and I'm like, please do not bust me, because there's a bunch of Toms and Jakes behind her. And there were some nice quality birds back here
There was.
that I didn't want to get busted. There was this Jake with probably like a 5-inch beard, enough that I could, throw a tag on it for being a beard
Absolutely.
bird. Yeah.
First bird.
And it was just, it crept through this opening, put its head behind a tree. I got my gun up, and it was just a perfect 20-yard shot. Bird just folded.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
It was a lot to that story.
Yeah.
You didn't cover. Come on, man.
Yeah, wake up. You tired or what's going on, Ramya?
I'm just not the great storyteller. I
That's
let Charles
okay.
do that
That's all
for
right.
me.
That's all right. I'm not
Nah.
going to hate on you for it. It's all good.
My perspective was cool because I wasn't pulling the trigger, but I was probably half a second from filling
Yeah, your
it,
tag
too.
was already filled.
My tag was filled. I was just out kind of helping guide, if you will, try to make setups
Yeah,
better.
you were calling for him.
And we didn't even call here because we got up and we crept up, and I was like, let me go ahead and crawl all the way to the edge of the field. I'm just going to see if they're still out there. And I crawled all the way up, and I looked up, I start peeking, and then boom, fan right in my face, like 50, 60 yards away. I'm like, oh yeah. So I crawled back to you, got you up there. I said, I'm going to crawl behind you. I'm going to grab the decoys, set them up on that trail that leads back in. And I said, if they hit that corner and they're too far, I'll call and try to drag them
and I
past
actually
you.
had to stop you.
Yeah.
You were crawling behind me.
You're like, stop. And I'm like, what? What the heck does he mean stop? I'm like 5 yards from the decoys crawling backwards on my belly. So I just turned and sat up. And at one point, I was literally like, this dude's crazy. I don't see anything. And I almost started to crawl again. And then I remembered that hen.
Yep.
And I was like, wait, let me look. And I start scanning. And sure enough, the hen had fed at this point right in front of you.
Yeah, 10 yards max.
10 yards. And
Max.
then right past us and right into the woods. It couldn't have been drawn up any better.
Yeah.
And then that Jake came right behind it.
Right in the
and
window.
Boom! Dropped it. And we were gone.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Good time.
So back
Beautiful.
to the whitetails then.
Yeah, I
Back
mean,
to the whitetail event.
pretty much starting the archery season, we did a lot of shed hunting and scouting. Early, late winter, I guess.
We got out pretty often.
Yeah.
January, February, March.
That was pretty much the end of my scouting in terms of archery because work picked up and I was at working 6-7 days a week. I mean, it was tough to get out and scout, but we did shoot our bows a lot this summer.
That's so important.
Coming into the season, we shot a lot. Pretty good. We had a big group of people shooting 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Easily.
we hit it pretty hard on the targets, and it was nice that you could shoot even with your schedule.
Yeah, so that at least made me feel good about going in and just going to previous year spots. We go up the mountains every day first day. And
Pretty much been a thing since we got our camp.
And that's tough without really scouting a whole lot because you're talking the part I was hunting was 89,000 acres. Allegheny National Forest.
Yeah.
It's huge. So unless you really have the time to scout and put in that work, it's hard to pattern them. So I kind of hunted one of your old stands where there's known deer movement. Mm-hmm. And that's when I saw a deer. First deer was about 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was like 110 yards. So obviously just a little too far.
Just got to aim a little higher.
Yeah, aim a little higher and pray for the best. But then I actually looked down and saw one at about 55 yards and walking aggressively. So they both came out of the same area, so I kind of sat up on that in the evening, and it just didn't work out that night. That was my only time this year where I was able to hunt an AM and a PM. Only time.
Okay.
It's first day. And then second time I hunted another property we have. I really liked this trail I was on, and it did work out. I had like a small fork come under me. That was about all I saw, but either way it was cool. I didn't get skunked. You guys were actually in a similar area. Saw a lot of deer that day. And then that was my second sit. And then by the time my third sit was, actually that second sit, I was walking out of the woods and towards the top near a field is where I saw multiple deer.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love that top.
You guys were in the bottom. I was in the middle. You seen a different group of deer. I saw that one deer and saw a bunch of deer up top when I was walking out. Saw them with my headlamp. So I'm like, all right, they're in the bottom. I'm in the middle. I got a mobile setup. I use lone wolf climbing sticks and a hang on, which I recommend because if you're not mobile, good luck. You're going to be a scout.
Yeah, preach it, kid.
Yeah.
I believe it.
You're going to be a scout. It is what it is. I can't tell you how many times sitting in a fixed stand, I saw deer 50 to 100 yards away. See them clear as day, but
They
you
figure
can't
it
make
out.
a play.
They figure it out over time, man. That fixed stand.
Yeah.
And there's fixed stands that work good for
it
people all the
definitely
time.
works, but how big is the property you're hunting?
Not only that, a lot of times you'll get success like in the rut whenever deer are cruising through areas.
Exactly.
If they're in a good pinch point or a good funnel, they work. But like a fixed stand like you're talking about,
Yeah.
a lot of times those deer figured it out and
Yeah.
they just skirt it.
And if you see the deer moving, you have to adjust.
Mhm.
And that's what I
time.
did because I saw those deer up the top. I'm like, well, maybe I'll sit up towards the top because they're all getting there and we're not seeing them how they're getting there. So we're just going to try. I'm going to try and cut them off before they get to the field. And that's pretty much what happened that third day when I shot my buck.
Third hunt.
Yeah, my third hunt of the year. I saw that buck. It came in, saw it was legal. And I'm like, I don't know how many more times I'm going to be able to get to go out. Plus, I never shot a deer with a bow. So I'm going to
Heck
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
If
on
you
the board.
had passed that deer up, I would have smacked you.
So I was like, I'm going to get on the board. I put a shot on it, and needless to say, I watched it go down. So it was a pretty cool feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just
You can
got.
talk about it. It's not a bad thing. You
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah, I did spine it, but I got a good second shot in her or in him. And then from there, the night just got crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So from a neighboring property, I look over to my right. I'm just hanging out. Because when I shot my deer, it was like 5:30. And that's when it got dark near around 7:15, 7:30-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So it still got dark. So there's a lot of light left. And I'm like, you know what? You guys hunt this area too. I'm not going to go down and kind of mess anything up. And these deer, I had no idea I was there. But a little 8-point, probably say 2-year-old 8, you eventually saw that same buck. It was a nice 2-year-old 8. It actually has a lot of potential. Hopefully it survives rifle season. I hope it does.
It may not be surviving right now.
Yeah.
It might not be there anymore.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it made it because that thing looks like it had a lot of potential. It was nice, wide, and tall for
Really good deer for a 2-year-old. I mean, it
was better than the one I shot. I would have shot it.
Yeah, it was a nice buck. I passed on it, but that's because I could see it was very young and had a lot of potential.
But it came in, and where I was sitting, well, first of all, my shot was probably about 25 yards when I made it. This other, like I said, 2-year-old 8, it came in probably 12 to 15 yards broadside and actually stared at my deer. That's what
happens when you fill your tag.
Yeah.
A lot of bucks just know it. They come right to you.
It actually just kind of stared at mine, and I'm like, whatever. Of course. But I'm like, I don't regret anything, so
right.
I would never do that. I'd be like, oh, I regret feeling that, even though it gets better.
What happened?
So it walks over to my left, and I'm like, all right, I watched it feet away. Again, I'm just being quiet because I know you guys are hunting that property. I had no idea I was there. And then it's getting near dark 30, prime time. And I see a couple deer moving to the left. I still think one's that 8-point that just walked by me. One might have been a doe or another little buck. And then just, out of nowhere, pretty much last light. Not quite, but pretty much last light. I see a big body deer. I'm like, all right, that's clearly a buck coming up from the bottom. And it's the closest it got to me when it was walking out was maybe 35, 40 yards. I wouldn't make that shot. I probably wouldn't shoot over 30, just comfortably.
Yeah, that's good.
And all of a sudden, it just starts grunting out of the bottom. And I'm like, oh boy. This is like pretty much pre-rut too.
Oh, yeah. It's
I
right
don't
now.
remember the exact date when I shot it, but it was...
I got it. I'll look it
Yeah,
up.
it was
like the 25th, I think.
September.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was when that pre-rut activity...
No, October.
Oh, yeah, October.
Not
yep.
September, yeah. October.
That's when that pre-rut activity was really kicking in. And then it kind of had just its head on this field. And I got the binocs on it. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, that's either the biggest 8 I've ever seen or a really big 10. Either way, it was a wall hanger.
Yeah.
It was just a big deer. So I'm like kind of texting you, freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like being quiet. I'm like, I'm not ruining it for these guys. Like, 'cause I know they're still going to hunt it. And then he's like, well, how far do you think you could have shot? I was like, yeah, I think it was about 35 yards. You guys probably would have made the shot. And then I had to put my phone away because I see it double back. And this thing walks underneath me and stands probably 10 to 15 yards broadside.
Oh.
And I'm just like, this is like last light, but still very clearly identified as a shooter. And you're making that shot at 15 yards. I'm confident that any one of our friends would have shot at that point.
Yeah.
And then I stayed up probably a solid half hour at least after dark because I'm like, I don't want to spook this thing.
Yep.
And I couldn't hear it feed off or do whatever. So finally I'm like, all right, I got to at least go check this deer out. I get down to mine. I'm like pumped. I called Joey to come pick it up. So he comes and meets me. I got it out. But as I'm kind of scanning, I look back with my headlight and that buck was probably 60 yards just staring at me. Like, what are you doing over there?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, hopefully I didn't ruin it for these guys. And you actually think you saw this buck.
I think I saw that buck. If it was the same deer, I know what class that deer was.
It was a pretty dominant deer.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can get multiple of them in that small of an area.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it was the same deer, and it was a bruiser, but
it was a bruiser.
Hopefully he makes it.
I know how big it was.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know
minutes.
if I probably would have got a shot off on that because I'd have been shaking.
Oh, yeah.
If I wasn't shaking because I didn't have a tag. I'm like, oh, it's just cool to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd have been fun. It'd have been interesting to see.
It still gets the heart pumping.
Yeah.
Man. I love seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was only like my third set. I'm like, all right, cool. I filled a buck tag, and for whatever reason, we ended up having a Saturday off later in the year, last Saturday of archery.
Yeah, last Saturday archery.
So me and you, it was freezing.
Yeah, it was cold.
Freezing
really
is like
cold.
an understatement. It was so terribly cold. The wind was absolutely miserable.
Yeah, it was probably like when we first got out, it was probably 25-mile-an-hour winds, and it was already cold. Like it was
so
brutal.
Cold. And I left my stand in the same spot because, like I said, I was mobile, but we were seeing a lot of deer towards the top. And I told him, I was like, you know what? We're going to climb it. And we sat, buddy tree.
Yeah, I just hung a Saturday right there.
He sat just a little bit below me, but we kind of just hung out. And I'd probably say, because this is after the time change.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like pitch black at what, 5:30?
5:30, yeah, for sure.
So around 4 o'clock, we're both violently shaking, like questioning everything.
Was the tree moving?
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. Like 4 o'clock, we were shaking. Like we had to keep standing up to try and keep warm, and we were dressed pretty heavy.
I was dressed very warm,
yeah,
and I
it
was
still
freezing.
cold,
Yeah.
like bibs.
It doesn't matter. That wind
Yeah,
cuts
it was
through you, man.
unbelievable. But right about the point where we're like, I don't know how much longer we'll take us. I tap him on the shoulder, deer,
Yeah,
and then we
almost
saw,
straight out from us.
straight out, maybe a little bit to the right.
Yeah,
Probably like 100 yards at that point where we first saw
maybe
them.
a little more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least 100 when we first saw
It
them.
was just a string of does coming.
Yeah, and there was like 4 or 5, and they were just kind of playing around and hanging out at what, 60, 65 yards?
Yeah, 60, 70. The one I ranged when it got clear, it was literally dead nut 60.
Yeah, it was like they were almost not going to come our way.
Yeah.
But I was like, kind of talking to him because it's so windy. Like we didn't have to worry about sound. At
We
all.
could have talked at
Yeah,
normal
we could have talked at
volume,
this
and it
volume.
wouldn't even made a difference.
So we're just kind of like talking, like seeing what they're going to do. He's like, I don't know if they're going to come our way. I'm like, well, history, these past couple sits, history's saying they're going to come towards the top.
Yep.
And that's pretty much exactly what happened. One of the does broke off from the pack,
Yep.
came in your lane because we
Mhm.
decided, you come to your lane, you're shooting, I'll shoot mine. You actually got a shot off.
Yep. I told that story.
Yep.
Yep.
So what episode?
I think last episode, wasn't it? Maybe the episode before.
It was at least 2 episodes ago.
Maybe. Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, we'll link that up. You can listen to his version of the story there.
Yeah.
But he got a
Same
shot off,
version.
and none of these deer were spooked. We're like, all right, Austin, there's still like 6 deer out there. And one gets into what, 33 you marked it?
I think so, yeah, when I ranged
And
it.
I honestly was like, I'm not shooting at 33 because not only am I shaking with excitement, but it was so cold, I still wasn't fully warm yet.
Yeah.
You shake extra hard when it's cold.
Oh
you
my
do.
God, I was
And
shaking
deer's coming.
so bad. And then, like I said, with a deer right there, kind of within shooting range, I'm like,
Mhm.
because I've shot pretty good at 35. I wouldn't shoot any further than that in archery, even if it was a big boy. I just wouldn't do it. I don't feel comfortable enough. But 33 was, if it was earlier in the year, I definitely probably would have taken that shot. And I thought I blew it because that one walked away. But when it went back, another one just comes like speed walking in.
Oh, yeah. On a string, dude.
Yeah, and Austin's range finding it for me, gets it at 25, 20, 17. And I was like, she was walking so fast, I stopped her, put a nice shot on her. She ran maybe 40, 50 yards, stood there for a few minutes, and then just tumbled over. I'm like, all right,
Oh, yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, so
It
I
was
mean,
beautiful.
it's kind of cool watching both deer go down because I've been with you guys so many times, all your brothers, everything, where we've done long, vicious tracks,
Oh, yeah.
like going into the next day, just
We did a
lot.
long, vicious track on mine, man.
Yeah, I mean, just throughout the years, I mean, even before I started hunting, I went on tracks.
Right.
Yeah. It's a
Like-
good learning experience either way.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
really is.
I'm talking like a lot of deer, and they're either really fun or really down. And I was just happy I didn't have to get part of the down times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you do it long enough, you're going to
Yeah.
get on some
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
long-
the realistic is you're not going to recover everything either.
right.
It is what it is.
There's circumstances,
Yeah.
like I told in my story, that just happen, and there's no stopping, and there's nothing you can do
Yeah.
to prevent it. It is what it is.
So I was fortunate enough to at least not only find both of them, but watch them both go down.
Oh yeah,
So that was an awesome feeling.
I can dig it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing better. Mine, I watched go down this year.
Yeah.
I was pumped.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, we don't have to track. So
Yep.
we get down, climb down, get it out, and get out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Makes it easier.
Yep.
It's such a relief. You get to enjoy the moment immediately.
Mhm.
yeah,
Where if you shoot one and it kind of runs off, you start questioning yourself. You start getting that kind of self-doubt, get down on yourself. I mean, you want to try to keep positivity
It's an
no
emotional
matter
roller
what.
coaster.
It absolutely 100% is an emotional roller coaster. That's the perfect way to put it.
yeah,
But-
definitely.
So I looked it up. You shot your buck on October 26th.
I
Yeah.
said 5th. Oh, so
And
close. 25th.
It was the day
is what I
before
said.
yours. I didn't
Yeah.
even realize
What
that.
I remember after that, it was obviously a cold front, but the moon, we just had a full moon. I think mine was post full moon.
You were right on the edge of that front.
Yeah.
That's what.
You were
That's
pre
what.
full moon.
Why
I'm pretty
you're
sure.
freaking.
Was I pre?
I think you both were pre-full moon, weren't you?
Maybe. He hit dead nuts.
Yeah, he was
right
perfect.
the
Oh my
evening
God.
right before that front when it was blowing in. That's why his activity was like
The deer
phenomenal.
movement was ridiculous, and what a great night to
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
let's see, because I
was.
took a screenshot here.
And then we shot both of our deer that next day
Yeah.
in a lull of that front. Like it
Right.
slowed down and those deer got up.
Was it raining the day you shot yours?
No.
No, but it was coming off of those days of rain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is what
that's
it
I thought.
was. There was like a few days of rain. There was a full moon coming around. And
Yeah, and then that big freaking storm front was coming up from
Yeah.
the south.
See, I think because I took a screenshot of the forecast when you shot yours and saw the other one, and I was down in Cranberry at the time, and at that time it was raining there because it was 7 p.m. You were right before the rain.
Yeah, that front was just blowing in right
And
at
it
that
was
time,
an
man.
east
Yep.
to west wind at 10 to 12 miles an hour. And you were right before that front. So
Yep.
you literally hit it smack dab perfect.
And
Yeah.
I would say, based off the quality of deer I've seen and the bucks, it was a good night to be in the woods.
Oh, dude, that was a phenomenal night
Yeah.
to be in the woods. I mean,
and they were
Yeah.
all within shooting hours.
Yep,
It wasn't
about
like
it.
anything came in past where I could see or shoot.
Right.
I mean,
yep.
They say it, they said it all year long about that full moon coming in. And those days from the 25th through like the 31st into like November 1st or 2nd there,
Yeah,
right around that full moon, the days before and after were going to be the best for daylight
yep.
buck moving.
yeah.
And you killed yours on the 26th. Austin killed his on the 27th. I killed mine on the 30th.
Yep. Beautiful.
I mean, I'm a little convinced.
It's hard to beat, man.
I'm sold on it. I don't know.
I've always been a 30th and 31st guy. I've talked
Yeah.
about that a million times. I love that time of year.
So my date used to be the 7th or 8th. That
Yeah.
was it.
Yeah. I love that pre-rut, like right before it's about to hit, and they're just starting to ramp up, and it's just phenomenal, especially if you hit a cold front like he did.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have
beautiful.
those one-offs where people kill them big deer just in them random
Oh, yeah.
nights, but you're talking like your best chances without a doubt.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, it was like
100%.
42 degrees that night that you killed yours.
Yep.
Yeah, it
Anthony.
was perfect. That was actually
So-
pretty cold for the time.
Yeah, it
because
was.
it was actually pretty
October
warm.
26th.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
pretty warm coming into that week.
That was the drop. I mean,
it was like you're talking. It was like 60 degrees. So
Yeah.
42.
Yeah,
It
because
was a.
I
it was a
remember
big
hunting
drop.
a couple days before on that property down the bottom. I was going to go hunt that spot that we scouted,
yeah.
and I got into the bottom, and the wind was bad. And I remember it was hot because I had the ghillie suit on, and I was sweating bad.
Yeah.
It was hot. And then you hit that front, and it dropped that temperature, and the barometric pressure went up, and it was just a perfect storm, literally.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say for me, like even being newer into archery, that hanging out with all you guys and consistently deer kill. I'd say I'd had one-ups on people who were newer in archery for sure. And I've done my homework too.
Yeah. But you were gaining experience, you're saying, from being around other people that have been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, with success.
With success.
Because there's a lot of
the
people
best
who
way,
do it
man.
that aren't successful, and you don't really want to ask them what they're doing.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
I mean,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
some people may have bad properties or whatever, some people
Yeah.
just, they don't do it maybe all the way right. We're fortunate enough that we learn from someone like my dad that's been doing it for
Exactly.
so many years successfully.
Yeah, I mean, like even like Joey and Russ. I mean, they
Yeah.
got a lot of kills.
I don't even know what our count is up to this year. I've killed 5 myself.
Yeah,
I think Joey's killed 4.
with what 4 being in archery.
4 being in archery, 1 in rifle.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm looking forward to because this is actually a couple days before first day of doe in PA.
Yeah.
Statewide.
Speaking of which, how many tags you got left, my man?
Oh, a bunch.
You got a bunch
And I'm
left?
looking to fill them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually going up to the mountains tomorrow morning.
There you go. I'm jelly.
Yeah, they ran me out at work, so I'm like, whatever, I'll be in the woods.
I'm going to be sitting at a desk. So send me some Snapchats.
Yeah.
I'll live my life through you like I've been living through Charles for the past month and a half.
And then, Saturday being the first day of doe locally, we're going to get a little Orange Army going, and
Oh, yeah.
we're going to hammer it out.
Yeah, let's clean house,
Yeah,
man.
we're looking to fill some tags.
I need
Kinda-
freezer meat bad.
I'm not upset, but I'm kind of jealous I'm going to miss that because last year we had a lot of fun doing that little pushing army.
a lot of success, too.
Yeah, I got one last
Yeah.
year doing it, but it was just fun just being a pusher and, that kind of stuff. But I got a couple other doe tags elsewhere. I might do that Saturday, and I'm still undetermined about tomorrow. I don't think I have anything to do, but
Well, let me know.
Yeah,
You got
might go
extra
up,
seat.
spend a whole day up the mountains. I have 2 tags left
Me
up
too.
there.
I
See,
do
I'm
too.
bummed about that because I got a tag up there too, and I can't go.
We need to get you up there.
I know.
You know what we'll do? We'll get
Last
up
Saturday,
there
maybe.
either last Saturday or we'll get you up there extended.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, because I got that tag. I don't want it to go to waste. I want to
Yeah.
definitely
extended
try and
archery
give it a go at least.
up there is pretty good.
Yeah.
We've scouted and stuff up there. Like
Well, I've
just
hunted up there
after.
forever, just maybe a mile from your camp as the
Right.
crow flies for my whole career, basically, as a hunter rifle hunting.
It's nice because they group up there.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
also, this place is public land.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's
Yeah.
all public. Yep. We
And that's
kill
what
some
makes it
deer
even
on
better. Yeah, I've killed a deer up there, and it just makes it that much more awesome because it's fair game to everybody who has a tag
Oh,
in
yeah.
the state.
Yep.
Our buddy Sam got a buck up there.
Yep.
Shout out
Beautiful.
to Sam. He got his buck, and Joe got a doe up there.
Congrats, boys.
So
I like it.
And yes, it was a legal kill of the doe. We're not going to share our secrets with you people, but it was legal. Okay?
It was 100% legal.
100%
Yeah, I mean,
legal.
if you're-
harvest.
If you're a true hunter in PA, it isn't hard to figure out how it's legal.
Yeah.
Just look at what tags you're allowed to fill that aren't bucks.
Right.
It says it
You'll
right
figure
on
it
it.
out.
Yeah,
It's
you'll
in the
figure
book.
it out.
It's right in the book.
Yeah.
They don't give you the book anymore.
It's
but
a special regulation area,
Mhm.
basically.
yes, exactly what it is.
Just like
So,
right now, you can go down 2B, 5B, 5C, and you can hunt
5D.
does right now.
And-
5D?
Yeah.
I think it's 5B, 5C.
I don't know. Screw them. They're on the other side of the state. Who cares?
Anyway, but the
And
special regulation areas,
they're
you
fair
can kill
game,
does.
too.
Yeah.
Like it's open to public. So
One thing I will say, though, read the rules and regulations for special regulation areas because
Yes.
that is so important. You don't want to find yourself in a situation where you're getting in trouble with the law. But I think Sunday, maybe, you two guys, maybe you were kind of interested when I brought it up.
I'm in.
Yeah, Sunday
Look
maybe
in
hit Ohio,
yeah,
hit some public
if I
with a
don't go out of
shotgun.
state for work, then yes, I'm in.
Yeah,
100%.
I think it's a good idea. We all got tagged. Let's go fill some.
Yep. I'm
You know.
looking to.
I
fill
got
as
a
many
buck
as
tag,
possible.
man. That's all I have over there.
But, well, I got a.
'Cause
I
I
got an
already
either
killed-
sex.
Yeah, we got an either
yeah,
sex
I already
you
tag.
have
killed
a
my
buck
doe
tag
on
thing, yeah.
public. The new law in Ohio, you're only allowed to kill one doe on public.
Yeah.
Really?
That's it. So you can kill other does in your areas, but they have to be on private land. So
Yeah.
since we hunt public, I can only kill a buck, which
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
When we go to Ohio, we're going to be hunting public.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we got neither sex. I'm good with one deer. out
Well,
of
maybe
Ohio.
not for long. We'll find out. I'll fill you guys in after the
Yeah.
podcast about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll pull out the bow, or maybe we'll go down with some shotguns.
I think that's what we'll do.
Probably do shotguns
Probably
because it's their
shotgun.
gun season. Now, you don't have to do like Illinois where gun season you have to like draw for your gun season or anything like that, right?
Not that I know
Okay.
of.
I didn't think so either.
I think
just
it's a
wanted to make
general
sure.
season, just like
I have the
everything else.
book at home. I'll look into it. I never planned on hunting with a shotgun, but I'll look into it just to
Yeah.
confirm.
Yeah. It's like PA, I'm almost positive. Like if you have tags, the rifle season, or not rifle. Well, you can use a rifle now, as long as it's a straight wall cartridge, like 44 mag or like 45-70 or
right.
something.
Yeah,
But,
they're gun season.
They're gun season, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically shotgun season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I prefer to kill them in archery, but you know what? I'm in meat crisis right now, so I got to fill some tags one way or another.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I know it's, like I said, the whitetail distraction, but I know we have to touch on our Thanksgiving luck.
Oh my
We've had
good googly moogly. You
probably
guys had
my
an interesting
best
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Because, with archery going out, it's kind of a little lull in the hunting in PA.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
And then
bummer.
with-
You get like
Yeah.
2-3 weeks where you can't do anything.
Yeah, and then with rifle season coming up, we always go up either my cousins or your guys' camp. And then we went out once before, but we didn't go last year. We're like, you know what? There is a tag we can go hunt. It was either going to be small game, which your one brother went out rabbit hunting. I almost went, but thankfully I didn't.
Who went
Yeah.
out rabbit hunting?
Johnny.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Johnny, for the invite, guy.
Yeah, how about that? He texts Anthony, didn't even text me, and we went hunting together.
I'm just saying,
I'm like-
success speaks for itself.
First off, all right, they were bunny bros for a reason. You don't leave one out, all right? And then me and him are real bros, and he didn't even text me,
Yeah.
scumbag.
Yeah, but
We made
We-
a plan, though, ahead of time. Remember?
Yeah,
we stuck to it.
we decided, we're going to go try and kill a turkey on Thanksgiving. I mean, what better way to celebrate Thanksgiving and not have to go to a store and get your own turkey?
That's a
That was
beautiful
our
thing,
thought
man.
process.
Well, with 3 hours of sleep and hungover from
Oh, yeah.
Wild Turkey Wednesday, we went out and had a Wild Turkey Thursday, man.
Mhm.
Thanksgiving was pretty
It was
phenomenal.
awesome.
You guys were killing turkeys. I was frying turkeys.
Yeah. We played a little trick on you. We call Austin
I
up
was
around
so
noon.
mad at you when you did that.
Literally
too.
right after we dropped our birds. It's like noon, 12:30.
I'm standing outside.
Did you already touch on the story at all?
No,
we didn't
I'm
even bring
just
it up.
saying,
Yeah.
I call Austin. Hey man, we're going turkey hunting. You want to come with us?
I'm standing outside in the freezing cold frying these freaking turkeys for my mom. And I'm like, no, I can't. I told you I can't, And you're like, oh, okay, that's all right. I know you couldn't.
All right. Well, you want me to take the story over to start and we'll just kind of bounce off each other, or you want to take it away?
No, go ahead.
So we go down to a piece of private land that my family has
got
permission on because I saw a monster turkey there
And
in archery.
your brother Joey, too, had recently, towards late season archery, seen some toms.
Saw like 5 toms.
Not that it
walking
matters,
together.
because you can hit either sex and fall. Don't matter.
Right.
But
And
either way, you've seen turkeys.
I'd like to point out that this spot that they go to, it's a phenomenal spot. It's right on like the corner, right where Pennsylvania. It's like Pennsylvania, New York, and West Virginia, right where they touch right there, that panhandle.
The same spot.
It's like
There's a hill
spot.
there.
There's a hill there. And
We
some
were on the
trees.
hill.
Yeah.
So we walked all the way up to the top of the hill, right where they meet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is an aggressive walk, by the way.
Yeah,
It's like up a little mountain.
About 3/4 of a mile up a
You're
freaking-
walking towards New York when
We're
you're walking
talking.
up that
Well,
hill.
we were about in West Virginia ish. We walk up this hill towards New York. We dip into Pennsylvania. We're on top of this field and we're looking and we're watching. We're glassing the field. It's a huge field. And a couple doe start walking out across the field, probably 400 yards away.
And by this point, we wanted a little break anyway, so we're like,
Yeah.
let's just check
So
these
we're
deer
gonna,
out.
hey, we're gonna
Yeah.
watch these deer. I have my camera on me. I've got a little bit of footage of them. They're walking out of the field. Next thing you know, the third doe pops out.
And they keep looking behind them, too.
Yeah, they were acting
Being a
real
little weird,
nervous.
yeah.
We're like, okay, let's just wait. Maybe, often when you find deer, sometimes deer and turkey run together in the fall, especially.
Yeah.
You see it all the time. You see deer,
That's
you see
exactly
turkey.
what we were hoping. We're like, let's just hang out and see if any turkey come out behind them.
They look out for one another.
It's almost the deadliest combination that you can run into in the woods because turkeys have the most phenomenal eyesight possible, and deer have the nose and the ears. So it's almost unbeatable from their perspective. I've run into it multiple times where you get busted because you either move, you smell, or you make a noise. So we're hoping maybe a turkey will pop out. Well, here pops out right behind him a pretty nice buck.
Oh, yeah.
You can see his antlers from
Nice
like
shooter.
400 yards away. We're like, ooh, that's a big deer, nice body. Pull up the binoculars. Oh, shooter buck for
You
sure.
can just tell how wide it was immediately.
I got like a glimpse of him on my camera. If I blew it up and slowed it down and still framed it, you can actually see pretty good size rack on this deer.
Yeah.
So we filmed him for a little bit. We're just hanging out. We're giving it some time. We're like, maybe a turkey would pop out. Nothing. So I'm like, you know what? I saw this paintbrush beard turkey back in this side,
Where you were archery.
late
yeah.
archery. Let's just walk this trail. Whenever I hunt in archery in the fall, this is where I see turkeys. So okay, let's go. And we start walking down that trail. Then
And
you're like,
he's telling me it's a pretty open trail, but I got poked by a few jaggers. I'm just saying.
the end of the trail over the years, it used to be 4-wheeler trails all through this property, and people rode them every single day back, 5-6 years ago. They've stopped pretty much riding down through there altogether.
Yeah, there's trees down, and it's
overgrown. It's
a little
pretty
nasty.
overgrown.
Yeah.
Luckily, you're lucky I trimmed it out in archery just to walk through it, or we wouldn't have been through it. I mean, I literally had to have my pruners out pruning lanes through this.
Yeah.
But once you get through it, it opens
Yeah.
up into a real trail again, and you start walking through the open woods, and we're just, still hunting. We're walking through the woods hunting, just kind of talking, enjoying ourselves.
We weren't expecting to hear anything.
No.
It was all by sight. We wanted to.
We were
If we were going to hear anything, it was going to be them feeding, making scrapes.
Yep, we were spotting stalking
Scratching.
for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not very vocal in the,
Yeah,
in the
we
fall.
had no plans on being vocal. We just wanted
Yeah.
to.
They didn't have
Spot
a
and
call on
stalk.
us.
Yeah.
But we get up to a point where there's a bend in the trail, and it's a spot that's actually pretty good for deer also. And Anthony's like, you know what, let me just go peek over this hill. And I said, that's a great idea. It's really open over there. If they're in there, you'll see them. He starts walking. I'm just kind of bullshitting behind him, talking, walking right behind him. All of a sudden, I catch the fact that he just freezes dead in his track. Just totally freezes. So I freeze, and I look down, and there's a turkey. And I'm like, son of a bitch, is that a turkey? I said it out loud. Is that a turkey? And I see the light head bob, and I'm like, shit, it is a turkey.
Because my immediate look when I froze, I see a round black ball. And I'm like, is that?
Uh-huh.
And as I look around, I'm like, okay, there's multiple. Yep, that's turkey.
I can
Turkey
only
vultures.
see one. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, relax. We don't have our face masks or anything on.
Nope.
I'm like, hey,
We're
let's
above
just-
them. We got the high ground.
We're way up on top of this hill. We're looking way down in on them. I'd like the head's super white. The turkey's calm. Let's just slowly drop down. So we slowly drop down to the ground, and we remove our orange because it's fall. You have to walk with your orange hat and vest.
Yep.
Which is ridiculous, but I understand it.
Yeah, because
Small
if
gang,
they were
dude.
looking at us when
Yeah.
we had the orange on, no,
yeah.
we were gone.
Yeah, luckily they didn't catch us. So we drop down to the floor, and we're kind of talking, we're game planning, we're just keep peeking our heads over, looking to see which way they're going to move. I'm like, man, I don't know. They're starting to go left. And I'm like, wait, no, they're feeding right. It's like, all right, I think I can belly crawl to the edge of this hill, and they're in range. We can shoot them right now. They're in range. We just have to get a shot.
Not only that, they're being so loud.
When I started
So
crawling,
loud.
and the more I got towards the edge of that hill, where it's not a 90-degree drop off, but I mean, it's like a 75-degree drop off. You could hear more and more feeding. More and more
Oh my
noise
God,
was
it's
coming up over that
ridiculous.
hill.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, there's more turkeys here than I thought, because I've only seen one and then three at this point.
Now, prior to that, when I crawled up to my tree before you got up there,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to see some of the beards.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think we just ran into a group of toms because
Dude, remember what you told me?
Yeah.
We're sitting there, and I'm on my belly, and he's sitting
he's
up.
not up there yet. And I'm like, there's a paintbrush on
There,
this.
he's like, there's a giant. I'm like, shut up. I literally told him, I'm like, shut up. Make me all nervous. He's like, dude, giant.
Was I lying?
No, you weren't. And I'm like, wow, man. Every single one of them damn near had
Yeah.
beards to the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some
You-
big boys down there.
We
Road
didn't even
draggers,
have
man.
to pick.
Yeah.
They were all good
Yep.
toms. So I'm
Pick
like,
one
all
you got
right.
a shot on.
Yep.
So he ended up crawling up a little bit past me, and he was in a good spot. I didn't feel like I was. So that's when I backed around you.
Which I was going to start to tell you go that way
Yeah.
because I
And
could
it-
now see them and they were feeding now to our right. He was initially set up to the left.
Yeah.
Well, instead of going left, they started going right.
Yeah.
So you kind of circled
Yeah,
around me.
made a
You
little
got
loop.
set up on the right.
Yep.
And I was waiting. I had them in my sights for a long time and I'm waiting
Yeah, and
because
I-
they're feeding towards you.
Yep. And I watched you pull your gun up, and I'm like, okay. And you look at me like I can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, the one that I saw was just, to me, what I thought was just out of range. So I'm like, I think he sees different ones because I
Yeah.
can hear them. They're being, like I said, ridiculously loud. Like, you can tell there's a bunch.
I was looking at probably the same ones you were,
Mhm.
and there was like, oh, those are just out of range.
And
And
so
then I
I-
poked my head up, and I'm like, oh man, there's like 6 real close.
Yeah. So then I slowly trying to like lift my head up, and then
Yeah, you kind of they caught you. 3
barely,
of them.
barely. Like
Three.
they weren't spooked, but they're like, okay, what's that?
Let's say there were 9 turkeys,
Mhm.
9 toms. 3 of them blew their heads straight up in the air, and they weren't getting red or anything. You know, they were white still, but they definitely
just like,
saw
"What are you?"
movement. They were
You know?
uneasy.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm like, oh shit, it's maybe now or never. Because if these 3 run off, they're all gone.
Yep.
As soon as they start running, they're going to be in thick stuff and they're way gone. So I'm like, let me give this like 10 seconds. If they calm down and keep feeding towards Anthony, I'm going to wait and take a shot. They don't calm down. And I'm getting to a point now where inside I'm saying, dude, you got to go. You got to go. They're going to run. You got to go. And I'm like, So
It
the
just,
2.
it wasn't one of those like fantasy 1, 2, 3 shoots. Just
No.
impossible.
That-
They were
that
too
wouldn't
close.
work.
It just wouldn't have worked.
Not only that, there were so many birds. How do you say, when we're probably 10 yards
Mhm.
apart, how do you say which one I'm going to shoot?
Right.
You
There
know
were
what I
just
mean?
too many.
There's too many birds.
Yep.
So I'm looking at the 2 that are nervous to my left, like to the left of this tree. And unfortunately, they're kind of stacked on one another.
Yeah.
So if I shoot one, I'm going to hit both.
Yeah,
I don't
you can't
want to do that.
No.
So I look just to the right and I see a big head up, but it's through a little bit of brush down by him. Nothing between us, but a little bit like he was kind of just on the other side of a briar bush.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't care. BBs are getting through that. I'm going to take that shot. So I just put that bead, right at the base of its head and neck, right there. boom, turkey just drops.
Yep.
I'm like, oh man.
I immediately jump up. I
Yep.
stand at this point.
Yeah, you jumped up and I'm actually like yelling.
I see a bunch run and a couple like fly, but they didn't fly far. They were just like, what just happened?
Mm-hmm.
And then
2 circled back.
yeah, I stand up. He sees one to my right, which is actually pretty close to me. I did not see because I
Wide
saw
open,
this
big
one.
beard on it.
You were probably just like scanning. Like,
Yeah,
so that
I was
wasn't
scanning,
there.
and then I
Yeah.
saw this one off to the left running almost in the direction of his bird. And that's when I'm like, I'm shooting.
I yelled
I
at you. I said, "Shoot the one on the right! The one on the right! It's coming back!" Because they did. They ran off, and then the 2, one on the left that he shot, and one on the right, they circled
Yeah,
back
and then-
like in the spring, like they were going to beat up my bird because my bird was
Yeah.
laying there, which I've never seen in the fall. But I think they were just investigating. I mean, they looked so confused. They had no clue what was going on.
And then eventually I shoot this one, bang, and I watch it go down. And he's looking at the one on the right, like,
like-
did you miss?
Yeah, I'm like, "Did you miss?"
He's like, what happened?
I'm
then
like,
he
"How
looks
did you
over
miss?"
and you see the other one fluttering around.
Yeah.
And it was looking a little too lively for me. I
was
think
like,
it was
"Dude,
done. But
you
I
gotta
threw
get on it."
another shot. I hit it in the body, and I slid down this ridiculous hill that we were on.
It was insane.
Like I went down to chase it.
I'll bet that's where I saw that freaking patch of feathers.
Oh yeah,
The body
Oh yeah,
shot.
for sure.
oh yeah,
That's what it
Definitely.
was.
I was telling him before the podcast, I was talking about your turkey. And
I
he said you didn't think that he shot it in the head. And I said there was a couple BBs, but there was a spot on the body that was all messed up. Their feathers were all jacked.
Yeah, because you're
Second
making
shot.
Yeah,
you're gonna do a nice
you
little
toasted
fan
him.
for
It's
me.
like flopping and stuff.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I actually did after that bird would have died. I hit it in the head.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah. He had a few BBs.
But I
in
was
the head.
freaking out because
Heck of
it
a
got
shot.
up like it was trying to run,
yeah.
and I'm like, nope, not happening
Well,
again.
you know from past experiences.
Exactly. I was like, I'm throwing another round downrange, and I smoked it. I hurry up and slid down still. I watched his. His was like barely moving.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're dead.
Yeah.
And then I go up to mine. I'm like, okay, you're dead. We're good. We just doubled down. Let's go.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah,
We
Happy
freaked
Thanksgiving.
out. We freaked
It
out.
was a great day.
That's
Totally
beautiful.
freaked out. We're just like, are you kidding me? That just worked. Like, I've never killed a turkey in the fall before. I've never really turkey hunted in the fall before unless I was whitetail hunting and one walked
Yeah.
past. But I'm like, dude, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. Like, how did that just work?
Thanksgiving too. That's what makes it
Thanksgiving
even that
morning.
much
yeah.
better.
That's beautiful.
No Macy's Day Parade.
And
Yeah,
we could tell these were nice birds. Like once we got these birds, I'm like, we
They're
just we're
giants.
looking at spurs. Like we've watched enough turkey hunting to know we're not experts, but we it's clearly like we could look at mine and be like, okay, that's definitely a 2-year-old bird.
Definitely a 2-year-old Tom.
Yeah, just looking at the spurs and
Which in Pennsylvania and in Eastern, your
That's
typical
decent.
bird is
Yeah,
a 2-year-old
about 2 years
bird.
old.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we look at Charles. We're like, okay, that's 3+.
Yeah.
The spurs were hooking. They're limb hangers.
Oh,
Those
yeah,
were
limb
limb
hangers.
hangers. Yeah, big time.
Yeah, it was. And then next thing you know, we eventually get to put a tape on the beards.
Yeah.
Mine was what, 7?
7.5.
Yeah, which
to the
is
dot.
respectable.
That's a great
It's a
beard, man.
respectable
Real
bird
good
for
beard.
PA. His was
10
10 and 3/4, which is that's a bruiser turkey in this area.
Unbelievable
Yeah.
beard on that turkey.
Not-
and I
not
never
saying-
even saw it. Like, it's not like
Yeah.
I picked that bird because it
Exactly.
had a great beard and it was a great giant
There was
turkey.
just so many.
It was just one of all the Toms. I mean, they all looked alike to me.
Yeah, there was one in the back that really stood out.
I think he was paintbrush beard.
Oh yeah,
The one I saw earlier in the
he
year?
really
Yeah.
stood out, but he was just a little bit too far out of range.
He had like a Gatorade bottle hanging from
How
his
far would
chest.
you say your shot was?
I figured my shot to be about 40 yards.
Yeah, mine was at a minimum 45.
I would say
I was
yours,
probably closer to 50.
yours was a little farther, pushing 50 yards.
Yeah.
You know what though?
Which
if
is
you're
a
using
poke.
the right choke and you're using the
yeah.
right load, that's nothing.
And thankfully,
Yeah, I mean,
like me and you, a few
crushed
years
them.
back, we modified my gun to make it more of a turkey
We
gun.
turned it into
It
a
is
turkey gun. Yeah, it's a turkey
We
gun now.
put the choke in. I went and patterned it, and I felt good with a 50-yard grouping.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
matter of
we
fact,
did
how
more
many-
than
how
that.
many-
We basically 100% turned it turkey
Yeah,
gun.
it is
we
a turkey gun.
threw fiber optics on it. We got you a new choke.
Yep.
We changed
Changed
the
out the
stock
stock.
and everything.
And how many
It's just-
times have I been with you where they were just out of range?
I don't know. With your gun, I wouldn't be scared to poke them out
I know.
there, man.
But it was like the one time I saw 2 when I was with you, I didn't want to shoot unless we could both. I don't know what it is, but I want to double down.
I mean, it's a team
You
effort.
got it now. Don't be scared anymore. You
Yeah.
start shooting birds,
Yeah.
dude.
And like I said, I tried to wait till every possible second I could to get them closer to you so we could try to double down
Yeah.
a lot easier. It just wasn't realistic with
No.
them catching us and getting nervous.
That 1, 2, 3 shoot, it's just not that
I've
realistic.
never done
It doesn't happen very
it's
often.
not realistic.
The only time I've ever doubled up, and this is the second time now.
Not saying it can't happen.
My first bird was a Jake. 2 Jakes come in. It was me and my oldest brother Russ, and sure enough, he'd killed birds before. That was my first real turkey go. And they come in, and I shot mine and dropped it, and he started shooting at his. He shot all his rounds. I ended up giving him my gun. He goes chasing it over the hill and just keeps shooting and ended up getting it eventually.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we doubled down that way. But same thing. It's not like you can say, okay, I'll take the one on the left, you on the right. Like on a video or something, you might watch it on TV.
You got to have that worked out ahead of time.
Yeah.
The birds have to do
And
everything
you
you
gotta be
want.
right next to one another, like in a blind situation.
Right.
You know, us stalking and making moves on them like we did, you were going to the right to cover them in case they got, more towards the right where I couldn't see them.
Yep.
And I went forward just to try to get a right now shot, and it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you guys.
Oh, it was crazy.
I'm going to go back to, now that you've let it out of the bag, I'm going to go back to you calling me.
Yeah, I did. So immediately,
Hey, you want to go turkey hunting? Me and Anthony are going to go out. I'm like, no, I'm frying turkeys. She's like, oh, that's okay. We just doubled up.
It was a pretty cocky move. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh.
It was
It's
sly.
like, you want to go out? He's like, I can't. It's noon. What do you mean? It's Thanksgiving. I can't leave.
Yeah,
You got
like, I'm
family
frying
stuff
up these
coming
birds,
up.
dude. I told you I'm frying up these birds. I'm like, oh yeah, I know, man. I'm sorry. I just want to call you because we just doubled down.
Let's go.
He's like, what? What? You're kidding? I'm like,
Send
no.
me pictures right now.
We tried telling you the story. Like, no, hang up. Send me pictures right now. I'm like, dude, they're giant. Every one of them. It was nuts. That was so cool.
Yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
a great story, man.
Yeah, and just really, with that,
Proud
it
of you guys.
was a great way to start rifle.
Yeah.
Great way.
Oh, yeah.
Just filled a couple more tags that you get on your normal license purchase.
Yep.
Why
And then-
not?
Yeah, and then we get into rifle. Nobody killed one first day.
No,
right?
no one killed one first day. It was
Joey
rainy
killed
and
one
nasty.
second. Yeah,
Joey and Sam both got theirs the second day.
which was awesome. And then I'm looking forward to getting out, trying to fill at least a couple more. But I don't feel pressured. I got a couple deer, so
Yeah.
I got a lot of meat.
I got mine yesterday.
Yeah, no,
Let's
super
go.
concerned. Yeah,
Let's go.
So-
Saturday's going to be good, I think.
It's supposed to rain, I think.
it doesn't matter.
I think
going.
it's going to change, honestly. It
I hope.
also said earlier this week that today was supposed to be
I don't think
sunny
it matters.
and like 50 degrees. and
I
it
still
was
think the
cold,
Orange
and
Army's
still
going
got
to be
snow on
out.
the ground.
Orange Army's going to be out.
Oh, no,
full
deer will
effect.
be moving. There'll be
Yeah.
people pushing.
Yeah.
It's first day of doe in
I
Pennsylvania.
can't wait.
People are
For
going to be
normal
out.
areas.
I'm going out no matter what. It doesn't matter to me whether
Mm-hmm.
it's raining or not.
I'll probably go out. I have a doe tag in 2D. We have public out there. We hunt. A lot of people
successful.
pressure.
Super successful in this public spot.
Very
Yeah.
successful
There's a
area.
ton of deer out there.
Ton of deer, and I
Yeah.
love it. And
It's
I'll
close
be-
fact,
to
your dad shot
it's close to the Atlantic.
it's all
That
the way
side of
over.
Pennsylvania.
Boys it over there.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the other day. His dad shot 4 deer this year, all public hunting,
Yeah, that's
Yep.
beautiful.
all in
Yep.
PA.
That's beautiful.
High pressured state.
Yeah,
4
yeah.
public deer, all in archery. Pretty impressive.
Hey, he was on the podcast. He's
Yeah.
a killer, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He's a
the
killer.
deer slayer himself.
Yeah,
That's where we get it from, man.
he's all about hunting with crossbows.
Yeah, I'm. yeah, it's
Oh
a
my
different
gosh!
topic.
If we ever listen, if he listens to this, I don't know, man. I fear for your safety.
He might hurt me. I know.
Yeah, and just like tomorrow, I'm excited. We're going up public land. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be
And
good.
then
I'm happy for
Post
you guys going
rifle,
out.
getting
While I'm
into
at
bunny
work.
season. Oh,
Hey, another thing I wanted to bring up on this episode, just to kind of toot our own horn.
I
wanna
was gonna
talk
bring
about-
that up.
Want to talk about the article we
Yeah.
may have currently
I
been
want to
in?
give a
Mhm.
huge shout out to First Light Hunting Journal. Those guys are awesome. Gerald over at First Light Hunting Journal reached out to me on Instagram. He was writing an article on podcasts that he likes, and he wanted to include us in it. And I think it was great. I think it was a great.
yeah, it was a cool article. I read it.
Yeah, it was really cool. I think it was a great rendition of
Beautiful
podcasts that he
write-up.
likes. I think he put us in a really high tier with some of the podcasts that he likes. Wired to Hunt, Nine Finger Chronicles,
Big
like
Buck Registry,
Big Buck Registry with Jay Scott. I mean, those are
Truth from the Stand,
Truth
Clint
from the
Campbell.
Stand.
Yeah.
Clint Campbell,
Yeah,
he's
we
been on
had
the
him on.
podcast. Those are all podcasts that I really listen to getting into podcasting, and
Yeah.
I love those guys, all of them, and they all have great podcasts. You guys should listen to all those as well. But I don't think we're in the same league as them, but it was very humbling
Yeah.
for him
That's
to
cool.
say that these are some of the podcasts that I really
Yeah.
enjoy. And
To
he
pick
threw
8
us in it.
podcasts in his first go about, and he said he would do some other ones. for him to pick us in his first round of 8 podcasts he listens to and enjoys, alongside some of the podcasts that I've listened to hundreds of episodes to get me into this whole thing. The reason we're doing this,
hundreds.
Literally hundreds.
Not exaggeration.
Wired to Hunt has, 300 episodes? 200 and some episodes, at least.
Probably
I don't even
more
know.
than that, man.
Just ask your wife how many how many
It's
episodes?
literally consuming.
Yeah.
I mean, I've listened to so many hours. I went through a whole tax season of nothing but podcasting, okay?
Yeah,
That's
man.
a lot of hours. But he put us right there with them guys, and I was like, just
Blown away.
absolutely blown away. I can't even find words to say how appreciative of that. And the write-up was cool, you know. You don't realize that you're even getting recognition until something like that happens. And, you know, maybe it's not the biggest thing ever to some people, but I thought it was pretty cool.
I thought it was really cool. I felt like a rock star at that point. You know,
Yeah.
Gerald, if you're listening, which I'm hoping you are, I'm pretty sure you are.
I
You
believe you're
know,
still
you
with
guys,
us.
you got to come on the podcast, man. Talk about First Light Hunting Journal and tell some deer stories. I know you guys are down in Texas, I believe.
That'd be cool.
It's cool. I dig it.
We got a new follower today from Iowa
Excellent.
on the Facebook page.
Decent. I dig that. I dig that.
What's honestly cool about podcasts is like they're pretty state specific or nationwide, you know, depending on which one you listen to. So if you're really new into hunting, you pretty much will have a huge leg up on.
Dude, it's a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, you're talking like you can go in as like a couple year hunter after listening to some really experienced people talk about it. And you have to actually do what they're talking about, but
And it could be anything, and it
yeah,
doesn't have to be whitetail
scouting,
hunting. Think about
whatever.
this. Let me put this in perspective. I've killed 1 turkey before this year, and then started watching the turkey tour from the Hunting Public boys and
Yeah.
listening to turkey podcasts from a bunch of different podcasts.
And hanging out with different groups who turkey
Calling,
hunt. It's just-
stalking, setting a scenario, everything. And we have put down some turkeys this year.
Oh yeah,
Best year I've ever been a part of, ever between our
Yeah.
group.
Yeah. I think
5 turkeys.
yeah.
I think Andy Gagliano, I think is his name, has a great turkey hunting podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal.
So, I mean, it's just because, and then, I mean, if you really put it into perspective, this is my best deer season ever, too. And that's after. So the Murph man's gracing
Murph's
us with his
joining
us. Hi, buddy.
presence.
Yeah, I mean,
What's up,
like
Murph?
I said, podcast. First of all, they're free.
They're free.
They're free.
free.
I mean, you can't beat that.
Just need to have the time to watch.
And it's not like a
Or
hunting
listen,
show.
sorry.
I mean, they'll tell you straight up whether it's public or private tactics. Hunting show, obviously, most of them, like on
Not
TV,
realistic.
or it's just not realistic for your average hunter. You don't have permission from that guy who has 1,000 acres. If you do, God bless you. But it's just not realistic.
Yeah.
I
You're
do,
more than
though.
likely going to start on public or
Yeah.
your dad's buddy or whoever. You got to listen to realistic tactics.
But I like that also they're starting to get into the video side of that as well. I like the Hunting Public doing their deer tour. That stuff's
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
Even though they're still in Iowa, but they're going to all kinds of different states and
Yeah.
getting it done.
I think it's great too, honestly, because it's real guys talking about it. It's not necessarily people who are hunting huge groomed properties like
Yeah.
you guys are talking about. A lot of people who are podcasting and they're normal guys. They're hunting
They're real
public ground
hunters.
or really small parcels of private. And, you know, if they're getting it done, they're doing something right,
Like,
you know?
take advantage of your state.
Absolutely.
There's
Absolutely. Every
public
state's
land, like,
so different.
Even PA, there's over 1 million acres of public land.
It's
You tell me
incredible.
there's not any deer there?
Incredible, yeah.
You just got to know the tactics.
Right.
And you'll get it done.
Absolutely. No, I
Come
think
on
that was
out,
really
Hunting
important.
Public boys. See what you got.
Let's see what you got. You can crash at my place. I don't care.
Let's see you take a bird out of the Allegheny National Forest. This turkey tour.
I think they are coming.
They said they were coming to
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
we'll see.
So we'll see.
Dude, the forest got some birds, though, man.
They're hidden.
They are. They're tough.
You just gotta go right to the Panhandle.
That's where they are.
That's where they are. Right on that Panhandle, man.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I've seen a lot of birds this year on that panhandle.
It is what it is, man.
I don't know if that joke's getting old yet, but I like it.
I like it
Actually,
too.
I listened to a podcast today. Clint Casper, probably one of my favorite podcast guests that I've listened to on other podcasts. Like, he comes on as guest, and dude's so high energy, but he basically said the same thing. He's like, I might ruffle some feathers here, but I don't care. If I have something, I know something about deer, I ain't telling you shit. I was like, that's what I'm talking
and let's
about.
be honest, you have all these guests willing to share their information, but they're all withholding.
He will literally,
something, yeah.
he said he will not tell anybody inside of a distance of a county in which he killed a deer.
Yeah.
And like a person he used to work with, a friend for a long time, it's like, nah, man, where'd you kill that deer? And he was like, yeah, I killed it in such and such county. He's like, nah, seriously, where'd you kill it? He said, Ohio. He's like, dude, no, seriously. And he said at the end of a conversation. The guy walked away pissed.
Yeah.
I said he was
Listen,
pissed.
if I got a good property, even if I'm the only one who has permission on it and it's private,
There's only
Listen.
maybe 1 or 2 people you're telling,
if that.
if that.
If that. I still got a couple spots I've never taken you guys to, and I only go into them when I can absolutely 100% know I can get into it. I don't go in there early season. I don't go scout it. I know what it is, and it is what it is. And you can
It
only
is-
access
it's
it by
realistic.
kayak.
That's just the way
It
it
is.
is.
It's just the way it is.
I
you
mean,
know?
it's cool. I brought you my best property. You killed a buck this year, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Shots fired.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll
But
take you.
seriously.
I'll take you to a fun spot. I'll take you to a fun spot.
No, I respect that in people because you kind of, it almost makes you like, "Yeah, that guy's a real hunter. You know, he gets it."
Exactly.
You know, everybody keeps, when they see big boys or, you know, they're after big deer, especially him. You know, that was his property that he had permission on by himself. But there's neighbors. He said there were 7 different people hunting that same buck, and that was the only deer they were going to kill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He ended up killing it.
That's crazy.
A monster.
A monster.
I mean, that's the truth of it.
That is the truth of it, man.
Why? Because people just, you can't trust people nowadays. People want to shortcut you and take advantage of your success. Like Anthony said earlier, you know, our family's had a lot of success, and people look at it probably in a couple different ways. Some people might look at it and go, "Man, hunting must be easy." Or other people might be, they're doing something wrong or illegal. You know,
But you don't realize the grind. It's a
no clue.
grind. Like, are you out there in the winter when we're putting in, I don't know, 5-10 miles in 10-degree weather?
Right.
Are
Yeah,
you there
doing
for
the
that?
scouting
you,
and-
you don't see all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
can
my
see that.
sister was one of them. Even like she was like, "Oh, you know, I think my husband and I are going to get into hunting. They live over in Ohio. You know, we're going to get
People
bows
don't
and we're going to
realize
get into hunting." And
Don't be fooled. It's a grind.
they don't. They see the success.
Like just imagine
They
sitting
don't
there
see
when it's
everything
30
else.
degrees out and you're sitting there for 5 to maybe even 8 hours. It's a mental grind.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Don't be
Yeah.
mistaken. Like you're sitting there for 8 hours for what could be a 1-minute rush.
Yeah. So what do you think, man?
You can get into something like that, and you can
Yeah.
luck yourself into deer. And I'm not saying
can.
you
It can
can't do
happen.
that, but if you want to be consistent at it, and you really want to learn, and you really want to have good opportunities, you have to put in the work,
Oh yeah. No
Or
doubt.
have the property.
or have a really
Yeah,
good
really good
property.
property.
I mean,
yeah.
that goes into it too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
I mean, so what do you think, man? This is your second hunting season with a bow. What would be your number one advice for new hunters? Since we were going to bring you on for a new hunters episode earlier in the year before this season,
I like it.
what do you think?
Probably listen to the real free advice. Like I said, there's a bajillion podcasts. There's a lot that are state specific. I'm not saying get away from magazine articles, but I kind of am at
Yeah.
the same time because there's just so much free content out there that's more realistic.
Get
from-
something that relates more to you.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Right.
people grinding and doing the ground and pound that don't have a huge following, which is there's no problem with that. But listen to what they got to say. Surround yourself with people who are successful. Another huge one is be mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be that guy who just puts up a stand and calls it quits. Like if you put up a stand, even after like 1 or maybe even 2 sits, you see they're 50, 60 yards, just out of range or whatever, move. There's a lot of different trails in the woods.
Yeah, don't
See where
see a
they're
deer
going.
there 3 times and then
Yeah.
move
Like-
right now.
Like if you see them after the 3rd time, they're probably not going to go there again. Unless it's a real small patch of woods. There's a lot of different circumstances, but on average, if you see them moving that way, you move that way.
Yeah, man, you saying that like it just it brings it up into my mind. I can't tell you how many times like earlier me hunting, like when I first really started like
Yeah.
archery hunting and stuff, I'd sit in the same stands and I'd see deer and never moved and always wondered like, I'm not killing anything,
Like
but
last year, at this one particular stand, I felt like a scout.
yeah,
I was calling it out, texting people, hey, there's a deer there, and there. But guess what? I'm not going to be able to make a play. So hopefully one of you guys can, because I'm out of the game right now.
yeah,
This year, being mobile, seeing that illegal buck, which is still cool seeing deer. I don't care if they're legal or not, but just moving to where they were going, it paid off.
Paid
Got
off.
2 deer out of it
Big time.
in 4 sits. I mean,
You were doing something right.
yeah.
Luck was on your side, my friend.
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Stay
man.
mobile. Obviously, scent control. That's huge.
Mhm.
I learned that from a lot of people, especially when you're a guest there.
Yeah, John Eberhart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an animal. I love that guy.
I mean, just listen to that. You want to know scent control. It's pretty much as realistic as it gets. He's not trying to sell you on any products that he doesn't.
He doesn't
believe
use
in.
products.
Yeah, he don't
He
use products.
uses scent lock. He believes in scent lock.
He uses what he
for the
believes in,
technology.
and he pretty much shreds anything else, which you don't know. I mean, other people have been successful with other stuff, but
Yeah.
Like I said, you listen to real guests. It's raw. They hunt public land. He hunts all fair chase property where you got permission.
Yep.
You just got to listen to people like that.
Right. There's a lot to be gained from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can jump you in knowledge
Bottom line is,
right now.
like, I pretty much had a 50% success rate. That's not the reality. You have to put time in the stand.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what it comes down to. Don't overhunt a particular area, but you got to put your time in.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not going to go out one city a year and be like, okay, I got my deer this year. It's just not
And
realistic.
then put in the time in the off season,
Yeah.
like you said. Not only
Off-season.
scouting, but shooting your bow
Yes.
Yep.
all year long.
It's so important.
You put more time into scouting. You should put more time into scouting and shooting your bow than actual hunting.
Yeah, you came in on that bow shoot with us back up in the summer too.
Yep.
You know, you had to dip out early, but that was still a lot of fun.
Yep.
You know,
It's still good
shooting,
practice.
We were shooting back in June.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was really the start of it. I don't know, man. It was a great year.
It was
I'm
a
glad
great
we
year.
finally got you on.
It's not over yet, man.
No. Now, what do you think? So we touched base on rifle season a little bit. What's your expectations for the rest of this rifle season?
I'd like to at least fill one more tag
Yeah,
and like to push some deer out for some buddies, and hopefully they get a tag.
it's a blast.
Yep.
What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. AKA Austin over there.
Austin, McCoy.
I
Yeah.
already said
There's
if they're setting up, I'll push.
Yeah.
I like it.
There's
I
some
like it.
guys that need
Honestly,
some
I like
meat.
pushing too. I mean,
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun
Yeah.
either way.
it's fun either way.
Hey, I haven't butchered my deer yet. You want to buy it off me for $100?
I give you $6.90.
Okay, I'll think
Cost
about
of the
it.
tag, man.
What
Cost
about
of
my
the tag.
license? Can't
But
put a price on it.
yeah, I like it.
All right, man.
Yeah, we're getting to the end here. I wanted to just give a huge shout out to everybody that listens to us. I mean,
And everybody out there that we may not even realize that have listened or supported the podcast, that's cool. You know, we still got hats for sale too. And if you ordered a hat or you told me you wanted one, get with me. I'll get them to you right now because
Absolutely.
I know it's kind of been some time. I have a bunch of people on
I got
the
a
list
couple
of
hats I still got to send out. I've been putting it off. I've been so busy. I got to do it, and
Yeah.
I'll get them out.
I also went and picked up a couple hats from the first place we got them from. Those tan and green. So I
Yeah.
have 2 more tan and green hats I just got.
Excellent.
So if anybody wants them, there's also green and tan. We got the gray and white, which is phenomenal. And then we have the camouflage with the green and camouflage with the orange, which are both pretty badass.
Heard they're pretty lucky turkey hunting. I don't know.
They might be the lucky turkey hunting hats. I don't know.
Whitetail hunting.
Eh,
We'll see.
There's a few pictures with them, and there's some dead deer.
They're
or
just
turkeys in front of
lucky
them.
hats. I don't know. I killed my buck in my hat. You killed your buck in
Hey,
your hat.
they weren't put on for the
Yeah,
picture.
all of my
I'm
deer,
just
really.
saying.
Yeah,
That came with me all year long.
yeah.
They weren't put on for the picture.
It's good. It's good.
I didn't have mine on for the turkey picture though, because we had to wear orange.
Yep.
Yeah. It's all
Son
good.
of a gun.
All good.
Orange hats coming out next year.
Orange hats
Let's
coming out
go.
next year. We're coming out with t-shirts too. It's gonna be good.
Oh, we're gonna try to. I'm gonna look into stickers and like decals. So if anybody's interested in that or any products, we have our design made. We can pretty much make anything. So if anyone's interested in anything, give us some suggestions. Shoot us an email or hit us up on our social medias.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. You can find us at the Whitetail Distraction Podcast at gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube at the Whitetail Distraction Podcast.
Yeah, you can listen to us on Podbean or iTunes.
Anywhere, Android,
Yep.
YouTube, iTunes, and basically anywhere you can find podcasts is where we are.
Right.
Yeah, look us up.
I'm gonna take that pen off you. and
I
throw
can't
across
help it.
the room.
I'm so sorry. Anyway, people, we love you.
Thank you guys. Thank you for coming, Anthony. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
It was fun.
Distraction's real.
I'll see you guys in the woods.
Give us one.
Distraction's real.
Give us one.
Distraction's real.
That's
Distraction's
it.
real.
Yeah, that's it. The distractions.
All right. It's real. I'll see you in the woods on Saturday.
What's up, guy?
Go. Let's go
Signing
kill
out.
some stuff.